Now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve is yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, we're not done. You get a huge dose of personal initiative, which is the go-getter energy that moves me, you, him, her, them, and they to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. We put all this together in one bundle, one package, one mindset, one method, one philosophy, one book, one masterclass. This show you're listening to right now that is called Work on Your Game. My name is Dre Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. Today's topic is how to get a job when there are no jobs. How do you get experience? You want to get a job and they say we're only hiring people with 2 years experience, but you never got a job, so you can't get experience. And then you say, well, how can I get experience to get a job if nobody will give me experience in the first place? How do I do this? What comes first, Dre, the chicken or the egg? Looks like for you, neither one. You might be getting the feather right now. But how do you get a job when there are no jobs? How do you get a job when you go ask someone, can I get a job, and they don't give you one? Or you go looking for jobs, but it doesn't seem anybody's hiring. It doesn't seem there's any money in the economy. How can you get an opportunity when there are no opportunities? That's basically what we're talking about here today. I'm using specifically getting a job, but you can swap this out. Hopefully, if you listen to this show enough, you should understand everything that I say here. You can use it metaphorically and apply it to what you do. Because not everybody who listens to this is an entrepreneur or an employee seeking a job. Not everybody's a CEO. Not everybody's an athlete. Not everyone's an online influencer. Everybody does different things. But everything that I talk about here today, you can, and every day, over 1,400, 1,500 masterclasses that we've done here on the show, you can take these and apply them to other areas of your life outside of specifically what I'm talking about. Just take the metaphor and swap in what you're looking for. How to get an opportunity when there are none. When nobody's hiring, nothing seems to be open, the opportunities seem to be lesser, they're drying up, nothing's there. What can you do about this? Is there something you could do? Can you do anything? Maybe you should just quit. Is there something you could do? Now, I wouldn't be doing this class if there wasn't anything you can do. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. I'm not going to tell you anything you can do. I'm going to tell you exactly what to do. Are you interested in that? If so, grab a pen and paper or open a new note on your smartphone and take notes. Let's get right into it. Point number one, today's topic once again, how to get a job when there are no jobs. First thing you can do is ask. It's the simplest thing to do. And while this seems like come on, Dre, that's common sense. That's the best first point you could come up with. Come on, give us something better than that. Well, I'm going to give you a whole lot of things that, in addition to this, I'm not going to say that they're better though. While asking may be simple, and some people after they hear it, they say, oh, well, that's common sense to just ask for it. Well, how many times in your life have you thought about something that you wanted, didn't get it, but it's not because you didn't ask. It's not because you asked for it and were denied. You just thought about it, didn't get it, and nothing else ever happened. How many times in your life have you not gotten something that you wanted because you told yourself no rather than having someone else tell you no? Now, if you can tell me that that's never happened in your life, that every single thing you ever wanted, you wouldn't ask for it, and maybe you got it and maybe you didn't, then what I just said doesn't apply to you. But I'm 99% sure on any bet I can make with anybody listening to this that there's been at least one thing in your life, and you probably know what it is. You wanted it. You never asked anyone for it. You never requested it. You didn't get it simply because you told yourself no. Nobody told you no. You told you no. If I'm wrong, you can let me know that I'm wrong. Email me, dre@dreallday.com. It's a simple enough concept to ask for what you want, but many people don't ever ask. Thus, they don't receive. See, the problem that most people have with asking for what they want, because if an alien was listening to this right now and just heard that concept for the first time ever in life, they would say, well, Dre, I don't quite understand why that would happen. Why would somebody just not ask for the thing that they want? They want it, why not ask for it? What would stop them from doing this? Why are they telling themselves no instead of letting somebody else tell them no? Why not just ask? What's the worst thing that could happen? Well, I'm going to tell you. The problem most people have with asking is their fear of being told no. Your fear of someone looking at you, assessing you, and rejecting your request. Not necessarily rejecting you as a person. Maybe they're rejecting you as a person too. But rejecting your request is the thing that puts you in fear. That's the thing that stops you from asking. Well, consider this. That I already told you. You tell yourself no all the time, right? You told yourself no plenty of times. You probably told yourself no more than once today. And it might be the beginning of the day. This might be the first thing you listen to all day. You told yourself no, maybe a time or two already today. Maybe in your dreams you were telling yourself no. And here's the thing. All the times in your life up to this point, all 20 years, 40 years, 52 years, 36 years, you have told yourself no so many times. But guess what? You lived to see today. You told yourself all those no's and you still made it to now. Which means what? You can survive hearing no once from somebody other than yourself. I mean, you heard it 1,000 times from you. You think you could take it at least once from somebody else? Why not? I mean, if nothing else, it's a pattern interrupt. Nothing else is a change of pace. Instead of you telling you no, at least let somebody else say it. All right, want to sound different coming from somebody else's mouth than coming from yours? I mean, through the bones, you hear the no. But through the air, you hear the no from somebody else. At least get some variety in your life. I mean, do something different. Let somebody else tell you no instead of you taking it all up. Let somebody else have the fun of telling you no. If you are unafraid of no, then you'll have no problem asking. Now, a lot of people in life are just afraid of somebody telling them no, and thusly they never ask. But what I suggest, I told you in masterclass number 879, stop taking no for an answer. If you want to stop having people tell you no, stop accepting no for an answer. How about you stop allowing yourself to stop yourself from going after what you want? I addressed in masterclass number 687. What if nobody helps you out? What are you going to do? Are you going to just tell yourself no? Nobody else helped you. Nobody else said yes to you. Maybe they didn't say no, but they didn't say yes. What are you going to do? And I'm pausing on that because you need to think about that, because you need to come up with an answer. Because if you don't have an answer, what are you going to do? Nothing. I talked about this in the class about asking better questions about a week ago. If you're unafraid of no, when you are unafraid of no, you don't have a problem asking, because if everybody tells you no, that's fine. At least you asked. Now, what do you do after that? Let's say you did ask, and you asked for an opportunity. You asked for the thing that you want, and you get told no. What do you do next? Is there anything you can do? Of course there is. Point number 2. Today's topic is how to get a job even when there are no jobs. Number 2, follow up and ask again in a different way. I want you to note the second part of that sentence. Follow up and ask again. Everybody understands that. Here's the part you need to catch. In a different way. Don't just keep asking the same question over and over again and keep getting the same answer. I mean, you know the definition of insanity, right? Change up your approach. Many people try something. Well, first of all, most people try things 0 times. All right, they think about it, tell themselves no, and then they never actually make the attempt, and then they never go after it. And then someone asks them, well, why haven't you done that? And they come up with a very rational, logical, convenient reason for why they never even tried to achieve the thing that they want to have in their lives. We call this rationalization. Some of you may call it making excuses. It's the same thing, just making up a story in your mind for why you didn't even try to get the thing that you claim you want. Most people try 0 times by doing that I just explained. Now, the few of you, the bold, brave few of you, will try something 1 time, not get it, because often we're not good at the thing that we want the first time we try. You'll try once, don't get it, and then you give up. Actually, to keep it real, many people try things 0 times, as I already said, give up. And the thing is, the very few, the small percentage of people, I would say this is probably about 2% of people, believe it or not, 2%. And that's being generous. It's actually less than that. We'll just say 2%. Try a second time. Just 2 times. Not 10, not 20. 2 times. They decide something they want. They think about it. They go ask. They get told no. Some form of no. And ask doesn't mean, can I blank? And somebody says no. Ask could be, you want to get big muscles, so you go to the gym for 6 months, but then you don't get any muscles. Maybe you didn't know what the hell you were doing. And then people will say, well, I went to the gym for 6 months. It didn't work. I ain't going to the gym anymore. The gym doesn't work. You're right. The gym doesn't work. People work. You didn't work on knowing what the hell you were doing. And a lot of people do that. They say, well, I tried that and it just didn't work. I tried that program. It doesn't produce results. I tried doing that and I didn't get the outcome that I wanted to get. So I'm not doing that anymore. 2% of people will try something. It does not work. They do not get the outcome that they wanted. And then they will come back and try again. They will come back, maybe realizing that they got to be a little bit better. Maybe they get some new information. Maybe they go get some help from somebody who knows more than they know. So they're not flying by the seat of their pants, just trying to figure it out on the way. Maybe they go realize, hey, I wasn't following the right path. I wasn't following the right system. I was not strategic in what I was doing. I was just doing things randomly. No wonder it didn't work. How about I be more strategic this time? How about I listen to the instructions this time? How about I read the instruction manual before I start this time? Since I tried last time without reading it and it didn't work, how about I read it this time and know what the hell I'm doing? 2% of people come back around after coming up short the first time and try again. And that second try often does the trick, believe it or not. It's also true in the sales world. I mean, we could be talking directly about the sales world. And how many of you have ever purchased a product that the first time you saw the product online, or the first time you heard about the product, or the first time someone made you the offer to buy the product, you did not purchase it the first time you heard about it? But then you heard about it again, or again, or again, or again, and then you bought it. How many of you made a purchase of a product after the first time you heard about it? You heard about it an additional time, at least one additional time after the first time, and that's when you made your purchase. That almost, actually everybody in here, nobody in here makes every single purchase the first time you hear about something. Nobody does. You might think about it, you might consider, you might not have the money in your pocket at that moment. You might not have the money in your account that day, but you come back to it and then you eventually buy it. How many people have done it? How many people listening to my voice right now bought something from me, but it wasn't the very first time you heard of it that you bought it? Because you had to hear about it more than once. Maybe you had to think about it. Maybe you had to test the product out. Let me see what this Dre guy is about. See what he's really talking about. Let's see if he's really for real, if he can deliver at this level every day. I mean, you did it once, but can you keep doing it? Maybe you had to test it out. Everybody does this. Which means what? If you really think about it, you don't immediately decide and take action the first time you hear about most of the things that you've done in your life. So if you only try something one time and don't achieve the outcome, again, look at your own life. You didn't do it the first time. Why would you expect anybody else to do it the first time? Maybe there are a few. Sometimes you get lucky and somebody hears about you. The first day they heard about you, they're so excited they go buy everything that you ever sold. That doesn't happen most of the time. The time that it takes to follow up, when you follow up with people, they might not get it the first time, but they will get it the second time. The effort that you need to put into the follow-up process or creating a plan for follow-up is much less time and energy than it takes to come up with new ways of finding new people to ask. In other words, let's just talk about the sales world. It's much easier for you to sell more products to your current clients than it is to sell a product to a new client. It's much easier to sell to a warm audience. That means people who have an idea who you are, already like you, already trust you, and already proven that by buying something from you in the past, than it is to try to get a person who's never heard of you, has no idea who you are, to trust you enough to buy something from you now. You'll make more money from your current clients than you will ever make from new clients, if you know what you're doing and you have a follow-up plan in place. As the saying goes, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. It applies to every area of life. It is much easier to work on the people that are already around and make it better than it is to get rid of everybody and start from scratch. Not to say that that's always the best plan, but I'm saying it's much easier. It takes much less time and much less effort. Point number 3, today's topic: how to get a job when there are no jobs. Point number 3, if you still don't have a job after that, you asked, didn't get it, you followed up, still haven't gotten it, how about you assess? Here's what you do next. And I want you to understand, this is still the same opportunity, okay? We're not talking about just going from opportunity is not working. You decide you want to work at Walmart, and you go into Walmart and say, let's not use Walmart, let's use a better. Let's say you go to the local mom and pop grocery store. You want to get a job there for whatever reason. Maybe it's close to your house. You ask them, hey, is anybody hiring? Any jobs to be had here? They say no. Then you follow up. You ask in a couple different ways, 3 or 4 times. They keep telling you no, 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 no. Like that, remember that Destiny's Child song from back in the day? No, no, no. Anyway, point number 3, if you still don't have a job, here's what you do next. You need to assess, what is that company doing? Or what is that person doing? Let's say it's an individual you follow on Instagram and you want to work for them. You want to be a part of what they got going on. You ask them if they have any jobs available. They say no. You come back and follow up in different ways. They keep telling you no. They keep saying that there are no jobs available here for you. Here's what you do next, is you still want to work there. You're determined. Assess what that person is already doing. And in your assessment, you need to identify where you can help and that you also have the tools to help. So where do they have a need that you can fill? Because maybe there's something wrong with their website, but if you don't know a damn thing about web development, then you can't fill that need. Maybe they need a salesperson, but if you can't sell, you can't fill that need. But you notice that the floor is dirty and you need somebody to sweep up and mop the floor, or you know how to sweep and mop, all right, you can fill that need. Again, just an example. But this is the way you need to be thinking. What is this person or company doing, and where does it appear that they need help, that I am good enough to actually help them? And that's what you start doing. You can do one of two things at this point that you've identified where they need help. You can either go to them and offer your help, or you can just start doing it. You can just start helping them. You don't even need to ask them, just go do it. If you notice that person has a YouTube channel and their videos are good, but they never have custom thumbnails on their videos, they just let the default thumbnail come up, you can go and make thumbnails for their last 30 videos and share them with them and say, hey, I made thumbnails for each one of your last 30 videos. If you want me to, give me manager access. I'll install them on your channel for you, or you can install them yourself. And if you want me to do more work like this, just let me know. I'll do it. I'll do this kind of work for you for your next 200 videos. And if you like it, then you can start paying me to do it. Who's going to say no to that? If that's an actual need that they have, if you notice that the need is there, you know that the need exists. As long as they understand the value of the need and you make them a good enough offer, they're going to take you up on that. You say, all right, I did this one for you for free. I'll do more for you for free just to prove that I'm good. And if you like it at that point, then you can pay me. All right, deal? Nobody's going to turn you down for that. They'll at least give you a chance. What do they have to lose? Nothing. I'm stepping on what I'm going to tell you in the fourth point, but I got more to say on that. See, here's the thing you need to understand. When you go to someone and ask them, can I have a job? Or is there anything I can do to help you out? Even though it's good to ask the question, here's the problem within that question. Is that now the person that you're asking, they have to do the work of figuring out how they can use you and where you can provide value. They got to figure that out. You've given them a job. So if you come to me and say, Dre, I want to work for you at Work on Your Game Incorporated. What can I do to help out? Now I got to do work. Now I got to figure out what you can do. Then I got to ask you what you're good at. Then you might tell me something vague, or you might have something specific. Now I got to figure out, all right, where can I use this person? Where can I utilize this person's abilities? Where can I utilize this person's time? All right, that's more work for me. Don't give me a job to do. Okay, you come to me with the job already laid out. It makes it much easier for me to make a decision. If I got to do all that thinking, listen, you're already interrupting what I was already doing. Because mind you, I wasn't planning on you asking me to find a job for you today. Even though I may appreciate the offer, now I got more work to do. Now you're putting more on my plate. Help me out by taking something off of my plate by saying, Dre, I will help you specifically with this specific thing by doing this, this, and this. How do I start helping you? All right, that I can say yes to. That's an easy decision. But if you make the decision hard where I got to think about it, more than likely, you know what I'm going to do while I'm thinking about it? I'm going to forget about it, and I'm going to just keep going about my business and forget about you at the same time. Don't do that. Don't set yourself up to fail that way. Help them out by showing them exactly where you can help, reduce their decision-making process, and take the thinking off of their hands. They will really appreciate that with you, and guess what? You'll get a job because of it. Point number 4. The topic here today is how to get a job when there are no jobs. Now I'm telling you how to make it even easier for them, which will make it easy for you. Ask for nothing in exchange. Come to a person and say, look, I did this for you to help you out, or I'll do this for you right now to help you out. And listen, I'll do it for free. I don't even want you to pay me. I'll do it for free for 30 days, or I'll do 100 of these for free, or I'll do whatever, however you want to measure it, for free. You don't even have to pay me. I just want to prove that I'm actually good at this. And if I'm good after this period of time, or after I've done this many, then this is all I would ask for you to pay me moving forward. Are you interested in that? Is there any reason why you would say no to that? Can I get started right now? You might not even have to mention that you want to get paid after it's sake. Let me just do this for 30 days and then let's have another conversation if you like what I'm doing and we can discuss moving forward. Who's going to say no to that? They'll at least take the free labor. If you approach them respectfully, if you approach them professionally, sounding like you actually want a job, not like you're talking to one of your homeboys on the corner, you're talking to someone who's going to be employing you, who would be in charge of whether you have a job or not. If you approach them respectfully, they will probably say yes. Respectfully and professionally. Now what happens? Now you're in. And being in, even if you're at the bottom of the totem pole on the inside, that is infinitely better than being at the top of the totem pole on the outside. Now that you're in, be so good at what you do that they have no choice but to keep you around. Now somebody came to me with an offer like this years ago. He said, Dre, I want to work for you for free. He came to me very respectfully, very professionally, offered a resume attachment. Everything was very professionally set up. He was approaching me the same way that he would approach working at Apple or working at Sony. He wasn't talking to me like he was my homeboy because I didn't even know who this kid was. He came to me professionally, offered to work for free, and he got in. He actually wanted to work. He got in, and he actually did some work. He got himself into the circle instead of being outside of the circle. This is the exact same thing that you can do any job that you want to get right now. Point number 5. Today's topic is how to get a job when there are no jobs. Once you get in, you must over-deliver. And you're thinking to yourself right now, wait a minute, Dre, you're saying I'm supposed to go to that person, first of all, figure out what job I can do, be specific about it, go to them, start helping them and not asking them for anything, not even asking them for permission to help them, start helping them. Then when they recognize me, tell them that I'll keep helping them for a certain period of time or for a certain period of work, not ask for anything in exchange. And while I'm doing all that, I got to over-deliver? Yes, that's what I'm saying. Now, this is if you want a job. When there are no jobs, because what is your alternative again? Oh, that's what I thought. Over-deliver so that you become a linchpin. You know what a linchpin is? Definition of a linchpin is a person or thing vital to an enterprise or organization, i.e., an indispensable individual. I'm gonna say that definition once more because there's somebody who needs to hear it again. Linchpin is a person or thing vital to an organization or enterprise, an indispensable individual. Linchpins don't get fired. Linchpins don't get replaced. If a linchpin leaves a company, that company has a problem until they replace that linchpin. If a linchpin is about to leave the company does what it has to do to keep the linchpin from leaving. A linchpin is indispensable. It is vital to the organization. You must provide what nobody else can provide. In other words, that's what a linchpin is. If you did your homework that I told you in point number 3, then this is very easy for you to do because you did your homework. You already know what they need. And once you get on the inside, you need to be paying even more attention to what they need that you might not have known about that you can also help with moving forward. You can just keep expanding your role to the point that your contribution to what's going on in that organization is so indispensable that they can't afford to get rid of you. Now you got a job. Now you're in. Now you can't be replaced. Now you guaranteed yourself employment. You guaranteed your spot at the table. When you're a linchpin, they could not get rid of you even if they wanted to. And when you're a linchpin, even if the company goes under, all right, so they got rid of you, but not because they wanted to, the company just goes under, guess what? Getting your next job will be so much easier because you proved yourself as a linchpin at the last job. It won't be hard for you to get a job. Linchpins don't have problems finding jobs. They don't have problems having suitors who want them. Now, anybody who's less than a linchpin, you might have trouble. This is just the way that it is. If I have any employers listening to this, any bosses, any hiring managers, any people in HR, any people who own a company and have people working for you, tell me if I got any of this wrong. Tell me if you would say no to any of these offers. If I got it wrong, I need to know. Let's recap today's class, which is how to get a job even when there are no jobs. Point number 1, ask for it. Simple enough concept. Many people don't ever ask, thus they don't receive. The problem is people are afraid of telling themselves no or being told no, so they tell themselves no all the time, even though they're afraid of no from everybody else, but they're not afraid of no from themselves. Well, listen, if you could take no from you, you could take no from someone else. At least try something different. If you're unafraid of no, you'll have no problem asking. Point number 2, follow up and ask again in a different way. Many people try something 0 times by telling themselves no. A few people try something once and give up. And there's just a few, 2% of people who try a second time. The second time usually does the trick. Not everybody buys something the first time they see it, but they will buy if you continue to follow up with them. And in business, you understand, you make more money from your current clients than you make from chasing new clients. A bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush. It applies to every aspect of life. Point number 3, if you still don't have a job after following up, assess what that company or person is doing, assess where they have a need, and then just start helping them without even asking permission to help them. Just start helping them. Because you ask someone for a job, now you're giving them the job of trying to figure out what you can do. When you come to them with specifics of what you can do and how you can help, even better if you just start doing it, now you have eliminated the decision-making process for that person, which makes it much easier for you to get in the room instead of being outside of the room. Point number 4, make it easy for them. Ask for nothing in exchange. Now they have no decision to make. They have no reason to say no because they don't need to make any investment and you already know exactly what your job is, so they don't have to figure it out for you. This is a no-lose situation. You are guaranteed to get a job if you start applying this information. I guarantee it. I could be charging you for this. Now you are in. You are infinitely better when you are in than when you are out. I don't care if you're at the top of the totem pole but on the outside. That is not better than being at the bottom of the totem pole on the inside. Now be so good that they have to keep you around. Somebody did this with me. They came to me with an offer to work for me for free, very respectful, very professional, not trying to be my friend, but actually wanted to work, and they got in. And it was just way better than being on the out. Point number 5, when you're in, over-deliver so you become a linchpin. Defined as a person or thing vital to an enterprise or organization. In other words, indispensable person. Provide what nobody else can provide. If you did your homework in point number 3, it's easy to become a linchpin. Because when you're a linchpin, they couldn't get rid of you even if they wanted to, because you are so vital to the inner workings of the organization. And even if the organization falls flat and goes out of business, getting your next job will be that much easier when you've proven yourself as a linchpin at the previous job. Because even if you got to go into an application process cold and nobody knows you, you already know how to assess a company in such a way that you know exactly how you can help during the application process, which will make it much easier for you to get hired for that job, as opposed to the people who say, well, I can do this, and this. Tell me which one I can help you with. Nobody wants to hear that. That's more work for the hiring people. If you go clear in and say, this is exactly how I can help, and it will help this particular need you have at this company right now and right here, and here's how I can do it, who's going to say no to that? Nobody. Work on your game. Dre all day.